All right, guys. So today we're going to be talking about the fear of follow up and why you're afraid to do it, and why it's holding you back from growing your business as well. When you look at the stats, research shows that 80% of sales require at least five follow ups to close. That number is actually closer to eight. We'll talk about that. But yet, when you look at it, half of metallic epoxy contractors, they're giving up just after one or two follow ups. Why is this? A lot of the times it's because they're afraid. They're afraid of being annoying. They're afraid of coming off as pushy, or they're afraid that if they follow up too much, they'll lose the sale entirely. But in reality, the silence of the customer doesn't mean no. Most prospects, they're not ignoring you just because they aren't interested. They might be busy, they might be unsure about the decision, and they might be overwhelmed with the options. High ticket projects like metallic epoxy flooring aren't impulse buys. They're considered investments, and they're an investment in their home at that, which is, that's a big deal. When you stop following up, you're really not protecting that relationship with that customer. You're ultimately just handing it over to your competition on a silver platter. You really have to understand that follow up is not pestering them, it's actually professional. It's the bridge between the customer's indecision and their action. It's how you stay top of mind, build trust, and guide your potential client to confidently say, yes, let's do it. You think about it, your clients need reassurance. They want to feel confident that your expertise is worth the investment. And it's not just about the aesthetics for them, it's about durability, the customization that they can get, and actually transforming the space. Like, what are people going to feel whenever they come over to their house for the holidays? They're more interested in that and being cool. People want to be. You, I've got to dig deeper on that one for you guys, but people want to be important. People want to be seen as valuable. I'll definitely do a training on that. So what are the risks of neglecting to follow up with your customers and your leads? It's ultimately not just a task, it's the lifeline of your sales process. Yet many contractors avoid it, again, either out of fear of being too pushy or because they don't really have a system in place to help them keep track of their leads, when they followed up last and who needs what, etc. The cost of neglecting follow-up, well, it's a lot higher than you think. It's probably $2,000 to $10,000 per job on average, right? Let's break it down. Why skipping follow-up costs you clients? Most deals don't and aren't going to close after the first text message or after the second email or even after the third phone call. Studies show that 80% of sales require at least five touch points. The real number is 8.2, yet more than half of contractors give up after just one or two follow-ups. You definitely are not going to hit a six-figure month like that. Why? Because you're probably assuming silence just means no, but guess what? It doesn't. Most of the time, it means that your prospect is still deciding, researching, or just busy with life. High ticket decisions like metallic epoxy flooring take time. If you're not consistently staying in touch, you're leaving the door wide open for competitors who will. Just think about it. If you're watching this and realize you're not following up with your leads as well as you could be, just know that my clients are. They might not be in your area, but do you really think and do you really want to risk losing your competitive edge? Consistent follow up isn't just a nice to have, it's what sets high performing epoxy companies apart. When you don't follow up, the initial spark of interest starts to fade, and that happens really fast. Think about it. Your prospect inquired because they were excited about the idea, but without the consistent engagement, that excitement can turn into hesitation or outright disinterest. And here's the kicker: if you're not following up, like I said, someone else is. My clients definitely are. We have a whole process. As soon as an estimate comes through, for the first 7 days, we're going crazy. We're following up. We're making sure that you get the floor from us. And that's what I'm saying. We want to. We're the competitor that will swoop in with a well timed call or well timed emails. And again, you're just going to lose leads this way. And that's how a lot of deals are lost, not because of price, but because of silence. Skipping follow up doesn't just cost you your individual clients, it also creates ripples effects that can harm epoxy companies in ways they might not even realize. You'll end up with an inconsistent close rate. Without a follow up system, your sales pipeline becomes a guessing game. Some months are great, some months are horrible. And this is because you're stuck relying on luck instead of strategy. Consistent follow up stabilizes your pipeline. It ensures you're nurturing leads over time. So when one deal closes, another is already in the works. Without it, you're stuck in the feast or famine cycle, chasing the next lead instead of building a steady stream of clients. Imagine if a prospect reaches out and they're excited about your services. You respond once, maybe twice, and then they stop hearing from you. What does that signal? To them, it might look like you're disorganized, uninterested, or overwhelmed with other work. Your reputation ultimately is going to take a hit, not because of your skills, but because of your lack of communication. Consistent follow up, it shows professionalism and commitment. It's professional, like I said at the very beginning. It reassures your clients that if you're this attentive during the sales process, they can trust you to deliver once they hire you. I hope the risks of neglecting follow up are crystal clear. The question is, how do you overcome the fear of being too persistent and make follow up your strongest asset? It starts with a shift in your mindset. Let's talk about how you can make that shift happen. Follow up isn't about pestering, like we said. It's about building trust and providing clarity. To fully embrace the power of follow up, you need to shift how you view it. Instead of seeing it as an obligation or a risk, recognize it as your most valuable tool for guiding your prospects towards a decision that you want them to make. Reaching out multiple times can feel uncomfortable. What if they think you're annoying? Here's the truth: consistent follow up isn't annoying, it's actually more reassuring. When you follow up persistently, you're sending a clear message. You're saying, I care about your project and I want to help you make the best decision. Prospects do notice that level of commitment. And over time, those touch points build trust and position you as the dependable expert who doesn't give up at the first sign of hesitation. The fear of over following up often comes with feeling like you're chasing the sale. But what if you flip the script? Instead of seeing follow up as pushing for a deal, view it as helping someone solve a problem. Following up is not about pressuring, it's about guiding. Each touch point is an opportunity to provide clarity, address their concerns, and show prospects how you can make their vision a reality. It's not about selling, it's about serving your customers, even your potential customers. When you reframe follow up as a service, hesitation becomes less of a no and more of a not yet. And why does hesitation happen during your sales? And how can you turn it into an opportunity for your epoxy company? Most prospects don't say no because they're uninterested. They're saying not now because they're uncertain. And who can blame them? Metallic epoxy flooring is a high ticket investment. They're weighing factors like cost, design, and durability. Hesitation often comes from unanswered questions. Will this be worth the cost? What if it doesn't look the way I imagine? Can I trust this contractor to deliver? These aren't deal breakers, they're actually opportunities for you. This is where strategic follow up shines. Every message, call, or email is a chance to address their concerns, answer their questions, and keep the conversation moving forward. For example, if they're unsure about cost, explain the long term value of a durable, stunning floor instead of going with a $4 per square foot contractor. If they're stuck on the design, share photos of similar projects you've completed. I'm also working on getting a tool integrated into our system where you can actually show people the flake or metallic in their space. They can upload a photo of their garage or of their house, and you'll be able to show them. So that way they can see different designs and they can see what the design will look like in their space once it's done as best as you can do it. And if they're questioning trust, just offer them a testimonial from the happy client. Tell them to go check out your Google profile. Tell them to check out your website where all of your reviews should be posted. When you approach follow up this way, you're not just maintaining contact, you're providing the clarity that they need to feel confident about saying yes to you. Now that you understand why follow up matters and you have the right mindset, it's time to get tactical. Let's take a look at the steps behind building a follow up system that works every single time. The follow up framework. This is how you'll convert leads with confidence. Your follow up efforts are not going to succeed just by accident or chance. It works because it's planned, strategic, and tailored to each prospect. Without a clear framework, follow up can feel overwhelming or worse, just totally ineffective. This framework I'm going to show you will help you stay consistent, provide value, and close more deals with confidence. Consistency is everything in follow up. Start by mapping out 5 to 7 touch points over the course of 2 to 3 weeks. This would kind of look like day one, sending a follow up email right after you send the quote. 2 days later, send them a text or a call to check back in and offer them additional information, see how they're doing, see if they had any questions about the quote. 3 days later, you can send a follow up email sharing testimonials or relevant project photos. After another 4 days, you can check in again. Just ask them if they have any questions or concerns. Ask them if they have any issues with the price, if they've got a cheaper quote, and that's what's holding them up. Just want to dig deeper. And then after about 2 weeks from the time that you send your first quote, just send them a final call and message them and move them towards making a decision, or put them into a long-term follow-up process where we do it for about a year. We just keep following up with them. Ultimately, you want to balance your approach. Each interaction should feel thoughtful, not overwhelming for the customer. Keep it steady, professional, and focused on their needs. Not all prospects respond to the same methods. By diversifying your approach, you can increase your chances of connecting with them in a way that feels natural and engaging to them. You can give them calls and add a personal touch and build rapport with them. You can send them emails, and in an email, you can share way more detailed information, visuals, and other resources that it can help those prospects, visit and move forward, review and move forward in the sell. A lot of times we just send out a bunch of text messages. It provides quick, casual updates and reminders that feel approachable. And then also incorporating social media messages. Stay in their radar by engaging with them on platforms that they already use. A multi-channel strategy ensures that no lead falls through the crack. Follow-up isn't just about staying visible, though. It's about making every interaction meaningful. Let's talk about how you can add value that resonates with your prospects. Most prospects are hesitating because they have unresolved concerns. You can anticipate these concerns and address them proactively. What does this look like? You can share insights about how metallic epoxy flooring increases home value. You can offer tips for choosing the right finish, or you can just tailor your communications to their unique needs, whether it's durability, aesthetics, or even timeline concerns. By solving problems before they arise, you position yourself as an expert who truly understands your customers' needs. Even with the best follow-up strategy, objections are inevitable. But with the right preparation, you can turn objections into opportunities. So how do you prepare for these common objections? You want to anticipate the top 5 objections. I got this from Andy Elliott. Every contractor faces objections. The key is to identify the ones you hear the most often and prepare responses in advance. Common in objections can include that it's too expensive, that you need more time to think about it, that you found someone cheaper, that they found someone cheaper. Once you've identified these objections, you can craft responses to them that actually address these concerns while reinforcing your value. And you can sometimes do it before you ever even finish the sale. An example to them saying that it's too expensive, you can say, hey, I understand ultimately it's an investment. Many of our clients felt the same way until they saw the durability and stunning finish our epoxy floors deliver. Let's talk about how we can make this project work for you within your budget. Another thing that you can say whenever it's too expensive is talk about what it looks like when somebody installs a Sherwin-Williams $4 per square foot epoxy floor, you know? Talk about how it's going to cost to install that, get it removed, and install the floors correctly. That's usually where I go with it being too expensive. So you also want to practice handling those objections and doing it with confidence. Preparation is only half of the battle. The other half is delivering your responses naturally and confidently. You can use tools like AI to brainstorm multiple ways to respond to those common objections that you have. And then you can practice these responses until they feel conversational and genuine. And you can also role play with a colleague, one of your employees, one of the guys that you're training for sales, or even a mentor of yours to refine your delivery. The more confident that you are, the more reassured that your prospects will feel. This is vital. Follow up isn't just about closing deals. It's about building a high performing epoxy company that thrives tomorrow. So how do you boost your close rate? A lot of the times, again, many contractors, they're only following up once or twice. Their lack of persistence creates an opportunity for you. If you stay consistent, you stand out as the contractor who doesn't quit on their leads. Persistent doesn't just keep you in the game, it wins it. Every follow up is a chance to reignite interest, address lingering concerns, and position yourself as the clear choice. And when you engage with your prospects consistently, you'll end up creating a predictable flow of high quality projects. Think of your pipeline like a garden. Without regular care, it withers away. Follow up is the water and sunlight that keeps your prospects engaged and more moving towards a decision, which is buying from you. Over time, this consistency translates into a steady stream of work and fewer gaps in your schedule, which is great for you guys. Consistent follow up does more than just close deals, it strengthens relationships with your clients and it keeps those clients coming back. So, how exactly does engagement build trust and loyalty? When you take the time to follow up thoughtfully, you show your prospects that you care more than just about their money. You care about solving their problems. This credibility is what turns into one-time clients into repeat customers for you. A simple check-in or a personalized message goes a long way. It reassures your prospects that you're attentive and reliable, and it sets the stage for long-term relationships with them that build on trust. Most contractors rely on a single touch point and hope for the best. By consistently following up, you become the contractor who stands out, the one who takes the time to understand the client's needs. You answer all of their questions and you're staying engaged. This shows competency, it shows care and concern. In a competitive market, prospects remember the contractors who follow through. That memory can turn into referrals, positive reviews, and future epoxy jobs. With stronger relationships and a reliable pipeline, you're not just closing deals, you're creating the foundation for sustainable growth. Inconsistent follow up leads to unpredictable income, but when you follow up with every lead systematically, you stabilize your revenue streams. Predictable income isn't just comforting, it's actually empowering for you and your business and your families. You just got to think about all of these things, guys. It allows you to plan confidently, take calculated risks, and scale a high performing epoxy company without fear of dry spells. A reliable sales pipeline isn't just good for your wallet, it's good for your peace of mind as well. When you know what's coming down the pipeline, you can shift your focus from scrambling to the next job to planning long term growth for your business. Whether it's investing in tools, expanding your team, or improving your processes, a consistent pipeline gives you the freedom to focus on what matters most. Now that you understand the long term benefits of a consistent follow up plan, it's time to take action. Let's turn everything you've learned into a simple, effective plan that you can start using today. So, this is how you want to implement a strategic follow up plan. Knowing the importance of follow up is one thing, implementing it is another. To close more deals and build long term success, you need a clear, actionable plan. This section will guide you through auditing your current process, building a personalized follow up playbook, and committing to consistency. You need to audit your current follow up process and identify gaps in your strategy. The first step is understanding where you stand. Take a close look at your current habits. How many touch points are you making? What's the quality of your follow up? Are you adding any value in your communication? This reflection really is critical. If your follow ups are infrequent or lack purpose, you're likely leaving opportunities on the table. You also need to set realistic goals for improvement. Once you've identified those gaps, let's say you're not following up enough, you need to set clear goals to improve both the frequency and the quality of your follow ups. Start with a baseline. At least commit to 5 to 7 touch points per lead over a 2 to 3 week period. We do this in 7 days. So you can stretch that out if you want to, if you feel like it's too much. But me and my guys, we do it about 7 days. We do those 5 to 7 in 7 days. And in those follow ups, you want to focus on value. For each interaction, plan to provide something meaningful, whether it's addressing objections. This is what we lean on. Or if you're sharing project visuals or just other helpful insights, any and all value is going to help them. With clarity on what's missing, it creates time. So now, with clarity on what's missing in your follow-up process, it's time to create a structured follow-up playbook to ensure that no leads are slipping through the cracks. Map out your system for the next 10 leads. Think of this as your follow-up blueprint. For the next 10 leads, plan out every step of the process. Schedule those touch points of those 2 to 3 weeks and space them out to maintain consistent engagement without overwhelming your prospects. Consider each prospect's specific concerns and goals. For example, if one client is focused on durability and wants flake, and another is price conscious and wants solid epoxy, flake is also a little price conscious, but let's say they want a metallic epoxy. You want to customize your message accordingly. And then use a spreadsheet or a CRM tool to log interactions, note responses, and track where they stand in the sales process. A playbook is only as good as your commitment to using it, though. So how do you make follow-up a non-negotiable habit? You just need to commit to consistency. Make follow-up a non-negotiable habit. Success in follow-up requires discipline. Just schedule dedicated time for follow-ups. If that's in the morning or if it's better for you to do that in the afternoon, just do that as you would for client meetings or job site visits. Block time on your calendar daily or weekly. Even 30 minutes a day can make a huge difference in staying on top of your leads. And if you can, automate where possible. Use email templates or scheduling tools to streamline repetitive tasks like follow-up without losing the personal touch. If you're juggling too many roles, consider outsourcing or investing in tools to manage admin tasks. You can reach out to Never Stop Agency if you'd like. HubSpot offers some great tools. Salesforce does as well. And all of us can help you organize and track your leads. And also, you can hire virtual assistants to delegate tasks like scheduling follow-ups or managing your pipeline to free up your time. By letting systems or support handle the logistics, you can focus on closing deals and delivering exceptional work. When you implement this follow up plan with consistency and intention, you will see immediate improvements in your close rates, and high performing epoxy companies see growth from this. Let's wrap up. Ultimately, follow up is the key to growth, and consistency is way more important than perfection. Success in follow up doesn't come from flawless execution, it comes from consistently showing up. Even small intentional efforts can make a massive difference in your close rate. Remember, it's about persistence, not perfection. So here's your next step. Write down the top objections you hear from your prospects. Map out a follow-up process with at least 5 to 7 touch points. Start reaching out to your leads with confidence and purpose. And you don't need to wait for the perfect plan. Start where you are, refine as you grow, and watch your epoxy company grow. If you're feeling overwhelmed about setting up this follow-up process, or if this just sounds crazy, if you don't want to follow up, you don't want to set up all these tools and these systems, if setting all of that up just feels like way too much to tackle on your own, you don't have to do this alone. You can let me help you create a seamless system that works for you and your epoxy company. If you join my exclusive Facebook group, I share strategies, tools, and tips that help take out the guesswork out of that follow-up process. You'll learn how to automate your pipeline, handle objections with ease, and close more high-ticket deals without wasting time or energy. Hit me up and I can get you that link to that Facebook group. And then also, if you let me know, we can always jump on a call and I can go through your pipeline with you, like I said, and show you what it looks like to automate those processes and take that weight off of your shoulder of having to follow up, stay on top of everything, send out invoices, and even we can even automate your hiring process. Whatever you need to do, we can do it for you. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and joining me today. And I hope you guys have the best rest of your day, and God bless.